I want to introduce Bola Sukumbi. She is the CEO and creator of Clever Girl Finance. Bola, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I am really excited to be here to talk about money, answer your questions, and go over this topic on creating an overall financial plan. I think this is a really important topic, especially given these uncertain times we're living in. And so we are going to have a great time going over this presentation because money does not have to be difficult and it can, in fact, be fun. And as Faith said, I'm going to be answering questions, but if you have questions as I am reviewing the documentation, please ask them in the comments. And I also provided worksheets that can help you with budgeting and creating like financial goals and debt repayment plans. And Faith will be sending that out later with this recording. Also, I just want to make sure that you're able to see the presentation. So you might need to adjust your screen to see the full screen presentation. So let's get into it. So we're going to be talking about how to create an overall financial plan. And for those of you who have access to the chat, I'd love to know how you currently feel. How confident are you about your current financial plan? Leave that in the comments and also share what is it that you're most concerned about right now when it comes to just your overall finances. So a bit about me. My name is Bola Shokumbi. As Faith mentioned, I'm a certified financial education instructor and money expert. I'm also the best-selling author of the Clever Girl Finance book series and the new book called Choosing to Prosper. And I'm the founder of Clever Girl Finance. We're an online financial wellness media platform for women and our allies. And we offer free courses, podcasts, videos, and overall empowerment to women to get the financial education they need in order to live life on their own terms. So I see some folks leaving comments in the chat. Someone said they are very confident about their financial plan. I love that. I hope this session provides you with extra motivation to keep going. Someone else says that they are not confident and more unconfident with budgeting. I see another comment about budgeting. And then someone else says more concerned about where to get the info I need to make informed decisions with investment. So start to gather your questions around those topics because we are going to go over budgeting, we are going to go over investing and a bunch of other financial wellness topics. But before we start, I just wanted to highlight why it is really important for women to be on top of our finances. So financial wellness is especially important for us as women. And there's a few supporting statistics I wanted to share with you guys. So for example, we lose an estimated $590,000 in lifetime earnings over a 40-year period compared to men due to that gender wage gap. So you all know that on average, we're earning 20% less than our white male counterparts. And when you break that down by demographic, that percentage is even higher when you look at Black women, Latina women, etc. Also, 42% of mothers have had to reduce work hours when they have children or to care for a family member compared to just 28% of dads. And more than 75% of long-term caregivers are female. And this is really tied to the fact that women live on average longer than men, which means that we're also caring for our loved ones as well while we are younger. We also hold nearly 2/3 of all student loan debt in the US. And this is typically a surprising fact when people hear that. But yes, women carry the bulk of the student loan burden in the US. When you hear about the 1.3 trillion student loan burden, 2/3 of that belongs to women, even though we only make up 65% of all enrolled students, which means we're taking on debt at a higher rate due to that gender wage gap and due to sometimes unsavory lending when it comes to women. And men are more likely than women to put extra money into savings, whereas women are more likely than men to use our extra money to pay off bills, to help our families, or to pay down debts. And then finally, we're investing about 40% less than men, right? And this is partially tied to that gender pay gap. We're earning less, so we obviously don't have as much to earn. But if we are giving an extra $1,000, men are 35% more likely to invest it, whereas we're more likely to put it towards bills, to put it towards taking care of our family or other people who rely on us. So these stats are not to scare you or to depress you, but just to give you context as to why personal finance for women is so important and why we want to pay attention to it, especially in today's world where despite the gender wage gap, many women are earning more than their mothers and their grandmothers. Many women are breadwinners. Many women are choosing not to get married. Many women are single mothers, sole household earners. And so it's really important that we start to pay attention to our finances. I see additional comments, people saying, I'm very confident. I love that. I could use help with my finances and how to invest properly. Um, I'm confident with my current plan, have concerns with timely adjustments with the economic climate. So let's talk more about all of this. So before you go into this to creating your financial plan, there's a couple things you should first consider. And for many of you who are watching this, you may already have a financial plan. And I would say that if you already have a financial plan, you want to leverage what you learn from this session to do an assessment of if there are any gaps in your current financial plan, or if there are any current adjustments you need to make to your existing financial plan. If you do not have a financial plan or you're not confident about the plan that you have, we're going to go over how you can set up each of the different sections you want to consider. But first of all, let's talk about certain considerations. Number one, no shame, no judgment. So it doesn't matter where you are coming from. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. It doesn't matter what mistakes that you have made. It's important that we let go of the shame, we let go of the judgment, the self-judgment, and even the judgment from other people. And just decide that going forward, you're going to start taking the necessary action to achieve your financial wellness. There is nobody who has not made a money mistake. I have made so many money mistakes, right? And the key is taking the lessons, assessing what went wrong, and moving forward, right? It's very easy, especially as women, to get caught up in feeling bad and feeling embarrassed and feeling down about mistakes that we have made. But the silver lining here is that in those mistakes, there are lessons to be learned that we can apply going forward to how we can do things differently. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Secondly, it's important to remember that your mindset is everything. What you believe you cannot do, you cannot do. And what you believe you can do, you can do. And when it comes to financial wellness, a lot of us get into this mindset where we tell ourselves we cannot do something. We cannot pay off our debt. We cannot save. We cannot invest. We can never be the first millionaires in our family. And that becomes true because that's what you believe to be true. So it's important to adjust your mindset to be positive, to think abundantly. You may not have the answers as to how you're going to get to your financial goals, but knowing that you have what it takes, knowing that you have that belief that you can get it done will make it even more realistic, even more feasible. That way, when the opportunities for you to take specific steps and specific actions present themselves to you, you're already in that state of mind that you can take those actions, you can take those next steps without doubting yourself. So your mindset is very important. And then finally, it's important that you know what your core values are. So let me ask you this question. Do your financial goals right now align with your core values? The things that are most meaningful to you. When you think about the way you have set up your financial plan or even the way you spend your money today, do they align with the things that truly matter to you? Well, aligning your financial goals to your core values is very important. And essentially, your core values are the things that are most meaningful to you that money can help you get to. It's about creating standards for yourself, the things that you desire, the things that are truly going to make you happy, and not based on what other people's expectations are for you. So if you look at the world today, we all have certain standards imposed upon us. You should have this much money in your account by age 65. You should get married by this age. You should have bought your first house by this age. Your family may have specific standards for the career you have, the person you're dating, etc. But do any of those standards that other people have really make you happy, right? So getting clear on your core values is really getting clear on what is truly meaningful to me, what is truly important to me. Forget about the standards of the world. Forget about the standards people are imposing upon you, but what is truly important to me. And when you're able to get clear on your core values and align your financial goals to those things that are meaningful to you, then this in turn will help you be happier and achieve fulfillment based on what your money can help you accomplish. So this is that whole idea of money can buy you happiness. And it's not the money that makes you happy. It's being able to attain those things that are truly meaningful to you, that are truly priority in your life. So it's really important that you ask yourself as you lay out your financial goals, what is my why for wanting to achieve financial success? Why do I want to achieve success with my money? How is it going to change my life? How is it going to change my family? How is it going to change my community? What does this mean to me? And based on the things that are truly important to you, you want to align your financial goals to your core values, and in turn allowing the way you spend your money towards your financial goals. So with that said, I want to get into creating a financial plan, especially during times of uncertainty, and to remind you all that it is still possible to achieve your financial goals regardless of what's going on in the economy right now. There's one very interesting statistic that I read about, just if you think about every down season in the US economy, you think about the Great Recession, you think about the economic downturns in the 80s and the 90s, you think about the 2008 Great Recession, you think about the last couple of years of the pandemic. With every single one of those downturns, there's always a group of people who come out exceptionally well. There's always brand new millionaires that stem from these seasons. And this is because when things get difficult, people get creative, people get out of their comfort zones, people get focused, and it's those group of people that tend to succeed. So you will hear a lot of gloom and doom on the news, on social media. They're really good at telling us everything that's going to go wrong, but don't lose your focus on wanting to achieve the goals that you have for yourself, because this is prime time for things to go right for you if you don't get distracted by all, the noise out there. So when it comes to creating a financial plan, it includes having the following. Number one, you need to have a budget, which is essentially you telling your money what to do. You need to have a plan for paying down any debt you might have. You need to have a plan for building and maintaining your credit, a long-term investment plans that includes investing for your future self and for retirement, and the right kind of insurance. So we're going to go over these five, pillars throughout this presentation, starting with the budgeting. But to get started with your financial plan, you need to know, where do you currently stand financially. So if you already have a plan in place, you still need to know where you stand financially. How has your plan changed given the economy right now? How much do you own? How much do you owe? And where are you trying to get to, right? So you need to know exactly where you are standing right now when it comes to your finances.